Hello, I'm TatoCat. Welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Ace Academy. Previously, after doing an awesome paintball match with Mayu, who turns out to be awesome at everything, our bike breaks down. We spend the night at a motel with her. It was very cute. And, get home, and Nikki is finally calling us for some reason. And that is where we left off. Let us continue. Of course, I answer. Hello?
Thank God you're home.
Uh-oh. She speaks quickly and seems almost out of breath.
Can you pick me up from the bookstore?
She doesn't sound out of breath. She sounds very upset. Her voice is garbled and I can hardly make out what she's saying. She sounds perfectly fine to me. Well, upset, but you could definitely hear her. What? She pauses, and there's a lot of movement on the phone before she speaks again.
Please, can you get me?
Where are you?
At the bookstore.
Her voice is clear, but she sounds scared. Be there in a minute. What's wrong with the bus? We're going to go to our sister. Something doesn't seem right. Alright, I'll be there in a few minutes. Nikki sighs in relief.
Thanks.
We hang up the phone and I hurry back to my bike. Nikki would tell me if she were in danger. Wouldn't she? I try not to dwell on the thought, but pick up speed anyway. Luckily, traffic is on my side and I arrive a few minutes earlier than anticipated. Nikki waits for me beneath a street lamp a few feet away from the bus stop. I can make out Ken's dark mop of hair beside her. It's a little strange that she's not under the bus awning. And what's Ken doing there? Nikki straightens up as I slow down. Flecks of blood stains her clothes, and a dark bruise mark her skin. Oh, we're going to kill Ken. Ken steps into the light to greet me, and I wince when I see him. Oh, I guess she killed Ken. His left eye and cheek is puffy and starting to turn purple. Blood drips down his face from a cut at his temple. He must have tried to clean it because his forehead is smeared with streaks of red. What the hell happened here? I park my bike and rush over to them. Nikki throws her arms around me and hugs me tightly.
So glad you're here.
Oh my god, Nikki, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're bleeding.
No, the blood's not mine.
Is it Ken's?
No.
What? You look like hell. Another visual novel thing is like, you look like hell. Completely fine. He tries to smile, then dabs at his swollen lip, his fingernails stained with fresh blood. He holds himself stiffly and leans on the lamp post for support.
He saved me from those guys.
What guys? Okay, so we're going to kill someone else. Great.
I don't know. There was a group of them. 3, I think, waiting for the bus. And when I showed up, they started saying all these things about me. They were being so gross and creepy, but I tried to ignore them because I figured the bus would be there soon and it wouldn't matter. And then one of the guys tried to put his arm around me. I freaked out. I guess I pushed him and he got really angry. And then the other guy grabbed me and...
My blood runs cold. He what? Did he hit you? Are you hurt?
No!
Nikki's voice trembles, and her eyes glitter with tears. I'm about to pull her back into a hug when Ken slips a hand into hers and squeezes.
Ken intervened before anything could have happened.
She glances at Ken, smiling broadly.
He came barreling out of the bookstore, screaming at that guy to let me go, and then he punched him right in the face. The guy was super angry, and he and his friends ganged up on him.
So how did you get a bruise? How did you get your bruises then? She frowns.
I tried to stop them from ganging up on Ken.
You what? What were you thinking? Joining the fight? You could have been seriously injured. Nikki sets her jaw.
There was no way I was going to let Ken fight them alone. Especially not when this fight only happened because of me.
I'm too stunned by her outburst to reply. Of course, I'm not pleased that she put herself in danger. But a part of me is also a little proud.
But I didn't really need to help.
I raise an eyebrow.
Ken beat 2 of them up by himself. The 3rd one had to help them up so they could escape.
Well, way to go, Ken. What? I look skeptically at Ken. I wouldn't say he's scrawny, but he's no muscle man either. Ken shifts nervously. I think I still make him uncomfortable.
I have some experience with martial arts.
What do you mean, some experience? You're a 2nd dan black belt.
He has a lot of experience in martial arts. Okay. He's a what? I certainly was not expecting that. You threw yourself in harm's way to protect Nikki?
Of course.
Ken maintains eye contact and answers with conviction. Nikki blushes.
Anyway, I told Ken he should go back inside, but he refused.
It's not safe for her to wait alone.
I take another look at Ken. Respect. No way he fought off 3 guys alone. I should have been here. I mean, how could we have been there? Respect, Ken. Respect. There's a fire in his eyes I've never noticed before. When he looks at Nikki, he isn't that timid kid, trembling in his boots. He looks like someone who's willing to move mountains. I meet his eyes and nod. Thanks for being there for her. He blinks in surprise, but nods back.
I only did what anyone would have done.
Not really.
Don't be so modest. You were amazing out there.
Ken shrugs awkwardly, then winces in pain. Are you sure you're okay though? Maybe we should take you to the hospital. He shakes his head.
I'm fine. Nothing's broken.
I look him over. I don't know about that.
I told him we should call an ambulance, but he refused.
Ambulances are expensive, man.
I promise I'm okay. I'm sorry for causing you such trouble.
This is one of those rare times I wish my bike could fit more people. Do you at least have a ride home?
He let me call his brother to come pick him up.
Well, we'll wait here with you until he arrives.
I appreciate the thought, but I would feel more at ease if you took Nikki home.
I will take her home. We're waiting with you. I insist. Offer to walk him back into the bookstore. I insist. Nikki shakes her head.
What if they come back?
I know my brother will be here in a few minutes.
Well, then it'll be fine if we wait with you for a few minutes, Ken. I can afford to wait a few minutes.
Me too.
I glance at the dimly lit bookstore. Is the bookstore still open? Maybe we can wait inside there.
They're probably in the middle of closing.
I'm sure your coworkers will let you back in. They're probably wondering what happened to you anyway.
Wait, you work at the Hot People bookstore? Or is this a different bookstore? You work there? Ken nods. Then let's definitely get you back inside. Releasing his... What? Realizing, there we go, he is fighting a losing battle. Ken agrees.
Okay.
Nikki and I go to support him, but he manages to walk by himself. As we head into the bookstore, his co-workers rush out to help, each asking questions about what happened. Nikki and I sit with Ken as we wait for his... This is not a bookstore. We are not in a bookstore. We are at a cafe now. Nikki and I sit with Ken as we wait for his brother to arrive. Nikki fusses over Ken and he lets her. As I watch the two of them, I pay close attention to Ken. He's calm, respectful, and polite, but most importantly, he's making Nikki smile. I'm not convinced. Let Ken know you approve. I'm not convinced. Listen, he took on 3 guys to save your sister. Show some approval. Let him know we approve. Hey Ken, can I talk to you for a second? He looks up at me with wide eyes. The very same expression that he wore the first time I met him.
Sure.
Kenyan. Again, Kin-in. You know, it's not as amusing when you say Kin-in. Amused, I lead him to a quiet area behind the shelves. I'm trusting you to take care of her. He blinks blankly before his eyes open wide again. As his face goes pink, he bows at a perfect 90-degree angle.
Of course. Thank you for your trust.
You don't have to bow. He returns to an upright position.
Sorry.
Don't apologize.
Sorry.
I glare at him, and he shuts up. This is kind of fun. I think I might actually enjoy this turn of events. Okay, let's go back. Nikki bombards us with questions as we return.
What was that all about? Why wasn't I invited? Why did Ken bow?
Yeah, Ken, why did you bow? I grinned evilishly at him, daring him to answer.
Oh, it's because he's, my senpai?
Nikki stares at him blankly, then shifts her attention to me.
What did you do?
What else could he come up with? Nothing at all. Isn't that right, Ken?
Of course.
Nikki pouts, but I can see the trace of a smile. I guess she's glad we're finally getting along. A few minutes later, Ken's brother shows up. He convinces Ken to go to the hospital and thanks us for our help. With Ken safe, we head home. Nikki lets out a huge breath when we step into the living room. Her face is unusually serious. She hangs her head and stares at her feet.
I'm so sorry.
Why?
If I hadn't gone to visit Ken, I wouldn't have lost track of time and stayed out so late, and then I wouldn't have gotten into this mess and made everyone worry.
Nikki, what happened wasn't your fault. She glances at me.
But if I...
No, none of this is your fault. What happened is the fault of those guys, and if I ever find out who they are, I'm going to finish what Ken started. Nikki smiles weakly and nods.
I think I'll go take a shower.
Sure. As soon as Nikki goes upstairs, Kaido pops his head out of the kitchen.
Is Nikki gone?
Yeah. He pauses and gives me another look.
Did something happen?
I debate telling Kaito about the incident, but I don't want him to needlessly worry. It looks like he has something else on his mind. It's fine. What's up?
I heard back from the PI.
What did he say?
Ezra Wilson.
The drunk driver?
Yeah. What do you really know about him?
He and Dad used to work together at Midori Energy. They were in every project together, and he used to come to the house all the time while we were growing up. I thought he and Dad were friends. My voice trails off. His blood alcohol was far over the legal limit. It's not like the cops could ask him about it due to his coma. Nor was there any evidence, which indicated this was more than a cut and dry drunk driving accident. There was no incentive to investigate further, so that was all that was listed in the report.
Well, it turns out Ezra was stalking your father.
I frowned. That doesn't make sense. They saw each other every day at work. Why?
The PI read about a huge fire at Midori Energy the week before your parents' accident. He spoke to a few people and found out that the fire destroyed important documents which contained all the research for Midori's latest project.
I racked my brain. I think I might remember hearing something about that fire.
The documents which were destroyed was your father's and Ezra's research.
Dad's research? I tried to recall. Dad. I tried to call Dad right before the accident. He seemed a little more worried than usual, but otherwise didn't give any indication that something was amiss. Shouldn't he have been distracted? Devastated by something like losing years of research? Unless he had it backed up. Was he trying to protect me, or was something else going on?
Ezra didn't take the loss well. Right after the fire, Ezra accused your father of purposely sabotaging him by setting their research on fire.
Dad wouldn't do that. It was his research too.
Right. It didn't make sense. Nobody believed him, and they chalked up his breakdown to stress. But he wouldn't let it go. He accosted your father many times at work demanding answers. It got so bad that he was assigned a leave of absence by the company. On the day of the accident, your parents had lunch at a cafe.
He called them, asking for a ride. Yeah, I remember.
The PI asked the waitstaff if they remembered seeing your parents there, and they did. Ezra too.
He was there?
Yeah, he'd followed them there and was already clearly intoxicated. He demanded that they pay him all the money he would have made upon completion of the project.
Your father... he said your father owed him.
Obviously, your father refused and continually maintained his innocence. Ezra became so disruptive, the manager had to forcibly remove him from the cafe.
Your parents seemed shaken, but tried to finish their meals as if nothing happened. They're not reading all of the words.
That's when they received the call from Nikki.
And I guess Ezra tried to tail them, but ended up running them off the road. Haino nods, looking more grim than ever. Something doesn't add up. What research is important enough to kill over? And if Ezra was driven to madness after losing his life, his work, why was Dad barely affected? Then there's the convenient timing of Akita's copycat pour. How much time has passed since the accident? Since the fire? Enough for the company to piece together just enough of the research to turn a profit. Uncle Kaito. He looks at me. I think the research that killed Dad has to do with my core. He hesitates, then nods slowly.
You might be right.
Wasn't there an encrypted piece that Valerie wasn't able to unlock? Maybe that can help make sense of all this. I need to take another look at it. I need to go look at my core. Uncle Kaito doesn't try to stop me.
You do what you need to do.
Just be safe. Thanks, Uncle Kaito. For the second time today, I raced the garage and hop back on my bike, and I drive to Ace. The campus feels even more empty than usual. Even though it's after hours, I have no trouble swiping into the hangar. All is quiet except for the sound of my footsteps. All is quiet? It doesn't sound like it. I can't not get to Eagle fast enough. As soon as I do, I plop down at the terminal and boot up the computer. I follow the instructions Valerie left for me, and I'm greeted by the password prompting screen she showed me earlier. She said there was a hint here. Let's see what it says. The screen is a scrambled mess of words with no rhyme or reason to them. I read through it a couple of times, making sure my eyes don't skip any words. Most of these words mean nothing to me, but a select few stand out. Cricket, moo, Sir Hops-a-Lot. Those were childhood nicknames Dad gave me. Each one of them has a story, but none of them were very long-lived. The ultimate nickname that stuck with me for an embarrassing long time was Meatball, because when I was born, my cheeks were big and brown, like meatballs. Dad's favorite story to tell was the time I started school. The teacher called Satsuma for roll call, and I stayed silent. So she marked me absent. After she'd gone through the list of names, I said she didn't call mine. She asked me if my name was Satsuma, and I responded with, "No, my name is Meatball." Oh, that's so cute. I'd been called Meatball at home for so long that I didn't even know my real name. That must be the answer. I apprehensively type in Meatball into the password. So this is so cute. Prompt. My finger hovers over the entire key before pressing it. The enter key before pressing it. The prompt disappears and a video pops up on the screen. My breath catches in my throat as Dad looks straight into the camera. There are dark circles under his eyes and worry lines around his mouth. His hair sticks up at odd angles, and his clothes are smudged with dirt and oil. He notices the recording light is on and tries to fix himself up a bit before giving me a weak smile.
The fact that you are watching this now means something must have gone wrong.
Oh no, that's sad. Oh. He sighs, and his voice grows thick.
I'm sorry.
I try to swallow the lump in my throat and ignore the sting of tears in my eyes. This isn't the Dad I remember. The Dad I remember had a booming laugh, which took up the room. He was sure of himself and never had regrets. Oh, well, we'll see what the video says in the next episode. I'm Tato Cat. A wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.